All right, good evening. Welcome back to statistics. We are going to see if we can't tackle number 8. They give us the number of the number of nuclear reactors, countries that had, or some countries that had at least one or more reactors. Okay, at least one reactor. And then they give us a bunch of numbers, and they say we'd like you to do some quartiles and figure some stuff out. Well, on this problem, this is kind of a pain because first thing we got to do is we got to put all these numbers in order. And when I say all of them, I mean all of these numbers in order. Okay, so I like the other two a little bit more because I know you guys are all grown and know that 18 is a bigger number than 2. Don't have a problem with the fact that I'm pretty sure you could sort these. Okay, but it's also kind of a pain to have to do it. Okay, so that is my apologies for that. It's just the way that book presents you the problem. And some problems would be this. If you have Excel and you just want to type these in, that's probably a good idea to do that. The way I would do it is I would make something called a stem and leaf plot. So we've got a 0. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, we have a 2, a 1, 7, and there's a couple more 2s. There's a 2, 2. So we have a 19. So this is my tens column. Okay, so I have a 19 and an 18. So that's my ones column. And I have a 6 and 4. We have 2, 3, 4. I got to go all the way up to 5 here. All the way up to 5. Let's see, can't do that. Bring this up, down, say, okay, 5. If you're ever reading a stats book and they're talking about stem and leaf plots, what we're doing right here, sometimes there's a lot of rules that people add to these. I would toss all of those rules out the window. Okay? This is supposed to be a very quick and easy way of graphing, and it's going to take us 2 iterations to get through this. We have a 9, 4. What did I do? Everything is 6, 6, 4. This should be a 9. Okay. Should be a 9. But I would throw most of the rules out the window. It's supposed to be something that's convenient for you to graph in. It's not supposed to be like a formal, hey, we're going to make this graph look pretty. It'd be nice if you do, but at the same time, make this work for you. Got a 1 and a 2, 2, 3, 10, 5, 2. I don't think I test you on this, so if you're just kind of hanging on and like, okay, I kind of get it, that's cool. Okay, now we have this. We have to put this in order. Okay, so I'm looking at this like I've got 1, I've got 3 ones. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with red. Okay, so we're just going to make a new list here. So I've got 1, 1, 1. I'm going to cross out my ones here. So we have that. Okay, how many 2s do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. So we'll go ahead and write those down. So we've got 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that the trick for doing this is to put everything in order. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. 2s. Do I have any 3s? I have a 3. And I know this is tedious, and I apologize for the fact that this is tedious. I know all of you are grown, and all of you should be able to do this. This is, second grade, first grade home stuff here. We have to put them in order. This is the first step for doing this, which means I'm not likely to pick this problem for a quiz because I don't want to have to mark you down for like not counting how many 2s there were. I think that's ridiculous. So we have a couple of 4s. So we have 4 here. 4. So we go ahead and say we have a 4. We have a 4. This is the easiest way to sort. Okay, but it's not the only way. If you use a different way to sort, I'm not going to get mad at you. We have a 5. Okay. So we have a 5, we have a 6, Okay, so we have 6. So that's something here. Now it looks like we have a 7 and a 9. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to get the right answer on this homework. So I don't know if I can count the number of 2's up correctly. Okay, so there we go. Then when I get to the tens column, right, we have a 10, an 18, and 19. Well, that's not going to be so bad. 10, we have an 18, we have a 19. That's a little bit better. Okay, 10, 18, and 19. Next one up is 20. Theoretically, this is supposed to be the fastest sort, but like I said, every problem, every set you have to sort comes with its own idiosyncrasies. So this may not be the fastest in all cases. This is supposed to be the fastest in a general case, but faster, that's fine. 50 and 58. All right, I think that's everybody. I'm just going to double check here to make sure I didn't lose one of something that's it's obvious. I have a 50. Yeah, okay. How many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21. Okay, so I'm getting 21. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. Now I got 22. Oh boy. We're going to say minus 22. We're going to keep the second count and hope that that's good. Again, all we're doing is counting these things up. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22. All right, 22. We like it. Okay, and now we're going to have to figure out the first and third quartiles. So my list value is 22. To figure out the first quartile, that's 0.25 times, how many are in the list? It's 22. So we're just going to say this is 0.25. Just go ahead and turn this on. So 0.25 times 22. Okay, we got 5.5. Now remember what the rule is. Remember, the rule is if you get a fraction, if you get a decimal, we boost it to the next value. So I want the sixth value in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My sixth value happens to be this particular 2. 1, 2, 3, 6. So this 2 right here, okay, is my sixth value. That's not really going to matter because we didn't keep the names associated with it. I just know that that's my sixth value. Okay. The third quartile, let's go ahead and check that out. That's going to be 0.75. 0.75 times 22. Go. Oops, I don't want that. Oops, I don't want that. Equals, we got 16.5. Okay, so this is, what do we do? We said, now 0.75 third quartile, 75 times 22. I am not going to tell you that this is going to be the right answer. Okay. 16.5, and then again, because it's not a whole number, we boost it. We need item 17. What is the 17th thing in the list? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 18 is my third quartile. Okay, so this 18 here, this is my third quartile. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say that 2 and 18. 2, third quartile, 18. Okay, and again, let me just tell you that this would be a terrible quiz question because I don't want you to have to go through all of this. Didn't like it. We're going to say that's fine. Okay, I have a feeling I probably got the 17 right, but I probably didn't order them right. So we're just going to recheck until we get the answer here. Quartile is 10. Oh, I'll bet I didn't count it right. I'll bet it is this 10. It's right next to it. Okay. So I'll bet I didn't actually have this thing all the way sorted. So we're going to go ahead and take their issues and say the first quartile Q1 is going to be 2. Okay, and our third quartile, we're going to say, well, it's probably user error here. Let's count on this guy not really being able to count all the things up in the list here. So that's going to Q3, and then we get 10. Okay, this is why when we used to give this class face to face, and I would give a problem like this. Like, again, this is not the mistake I'm looking for. Okay, not going to that pressed on the fact that you get that. That's okay. Find the median. Okay, that's why I also have you show your work. 0.5 times what do we have for a number here? 22. That equals 11. Now, when I go to find 11, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I want 14. This is my 11th value. But because it got a whole number, we also need the 12th value. We're going to average those two. So it's going to be the 14 and the 15. The thing in the 11th value, the thing in the 12th value. That's 14. I'm sorry, that's 4 and 5. Okay. So the thing in the 11th value, that was 4. The thing in the 12th value, that was 5. We have to average those together. Average of 4 and 5, 4.5. Okay, so my fingers are crossed here. We're going to go ahead and type that in. Again, if I have to bet on somebody making a mistake, I'm going to bet on me. Okay. Didn't like it. Check. 4. So again, I probably messed up because look at this. If I'm back by 1, I'm 1 off. We have to average 4 and 4 together, and we're getting at 4. Okay, so that's where they would have gotten the 4, was averaging these two guys together right here. Okay, so I'm sorry that there's a mistake leading problem here, but that's how we go. Okay, lower boundary. Now that we have, okay, we're going to use them. We're going to use the answers they gave to help us out here. Okay, so we want the upper and lower boundary. Okay, they want the lower boundary first. Okay, let's look at the lower boundary. Right, this is what's out of bounds. It's Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Remember, IQR is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. What the heck was Q3? Their Q3, not mine. That was 10 minus 2. We end up with 8. Okay, so we have 2, that was our quartile 1, minus 1.5 times, what was the IQR? That was 8. So that's all we're going to type in. Okay. We're going to say we have 1.5. Okay, remember we're going to say 2 minus 1.5 times 8. And a negative 10. And depending on your views on nuclear power, you can say, well, negative 10 nuclear power plants would be a great start. Very pro-nuclear power point, say that would be a horrible world to live in. Either way, okay, it's not a concern for me. It's not a concern for anybody else. Okay, you guys have your own value system for this. But we're going to say negative 10 here because that's the lower boundary. I have a feeling they're going to be really picky about coming up with the right answer rather than the practical answer, which is just going to be, well, you can't go lower than 0. So we'll say negative 10 to give the correct numerical answer. Okay, and then to get the upper boundary, here we're going to say, okay, the upper boundary, that's going to be Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. What is our quartile 3? Proper quartile 3 is 10. Okay, so that's 10 plus 1.5 times, and our IQR was 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay. We're just going to type this in exactly the way we see it. So we have 10 plus 1.5 times 8. And that's going to be our problem. Yeah, it's 22. Okay, so our upper bound is 22. So upper boundary is 22. Right? And we will check. Let's see if it's like that. Okay, we're I wouldn't say I'm improving, but at least we got the green check mark. Is it which countries were outlier? who had more than 22 nuclear power plants? Well, it looks like France does. Okay. It looks like Japan does. But I don't see anybody else on here that is above 22. So we just have France and Japan. So let's go ahead and double check that. So I have France and then I have Japan. Okay. Check. Hooray. And that would be, oh, that's all they wanted. Okay. So this conceptually, this is not a terrible quiz question, but practically it is because I'm going to have to make you sort all these numbers. And I really don't think that's worth any time to do that. So this would not be a good quiz question just because you have to sort these things. So if that's the part you're getting stuck on, wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay. Then figuring out the median, figuring out the lower bound, upper bound, that's something you could worry about. Okay, and then picking out the outliers, something. But I wouldn't. There doesn't have to be any. They could all be in bounds. That's fine. There could the answer of there could be none. That's a possibility, but in this case, there were two. Okay, so that's okay. So we'll say continue. We'll go on to the next one, and I will see you in the next video. So thank you.